Hey folks, welcome back. We're here for you again and bringing the coolest vibes of NBA for you all. The 2010s were packed with memorable NBA moments. When you look back, it's hard to fathom how they all happened in just one decade. All of them are key moments NBA fans and analysts seem to gravitate towards. Oftentimes, though, a less heralded domino fell and led to them. This is an ode to the moments that led to the moments. Let's move forward with our video and have a look at those 10 most crucial moments that have been forgotten in NBA history. So, let's begin. But before we proceed further, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do hit that subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any future NBA content. Number 10. Sasha Vujacic seals the 2010 finals. When most people talk about the Los Angeles Lakers' 2010 finals victory over the Boston Celtics, they rightfully focus on Kobe Bryant's will to win and the ability to contribute despite an off-shooting night. But again, that memorable moment happened with 1 minute and 1 second left on the clock, and the Celtics hit 2 free of their own after that. Ray Allen almost immediately answered world peaces, then Rajon Rondo canned one with under 20 seconds to go. The game ultimately came down to Sasha Vujacic. With 11.7 seconds left, Allen fouled Vujacic with the Lakers up 81-79. If he'd missed both free throws, the Celtics would have had plenty of time to tie or take the lead, even if he'd made 1 of 2. Another free from Boston would have sent the game to overtime. But Vujacic warded off both potential scenarios by calmly sinking both freebies and icing the game. He played a total of 4-41 in that contest. He went 0 of 2 from the field, but managed to sink his only 2 free throws without the benefit of the game getting him in the rhythm, and with the weight of a Finals Game 7 bearing down on him. Number 9. 2011 Mavericks effectively end the Kobe and Powell Lakers. Mavericks were a basketball buzzsaw, overwhelming the Lakers in a 4-game sweep that ended with a 36-point beatdown. That game, Jason Terry and Peja Stojakovic combined to shoot an eye-popping 15 of 16 from 3. The rout caused a level frustration that led to what is perhaps the lasting image of the series. Lakers center Andrew Bynum blatantly elbowing JJ Barea out of midair in the 4th quarter. Bynum was suspended for the first 4 games of the next season, and that era of Lakers basketball was essentially over. They won another Pacific Division title in 2011-12, but the luster had worn off, and LeBron James' Miami Heat were ascending. Generally, when we think back to the 2010-11 Mavericks, their triumph over Miami is the first thing that comes to mind. And that makes sense. But dismantling a team as good as the Kobe and Power-era Lakers was a pretty clear sign this team was on the way to greatness. And that series deserves a little more attention. Number 8. Warriors waive Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin appeared in 29 games for the 2010-11 Golden State Warriors, who finished that season at 36-46 under head coach Keith Smart. Despite the promising signs including 18 points, 5.8 rebounds and 4.4 assists and 2.1 steals per game in the G League that season, Lin didn't log a single minute with Golden State in 2011 and 12. In fact, the Warriors released him in December 2011. 3 days later, Lin signed with the Houston Rockets, who also opted not to play the guard. On December 27, the New York Knicks swooped in. The rest is, as they say, Linsanity. After playing sparingly for just over a month, Lin was suddenly thrust into a prominent role on February 4, 2012. Over the next 10 games, he averaged 24.6 points, 9.2 assists and 4.1 rebounds and 2.4 steals in the run-and-gun style of head coach Mike D'Antoni. New York's NBA fans haven't had a ton to cheer about over the last 20 years, but Linsanity was a bright spot for the entire league, and the point guard at the center of it wouldn't have been able to capture the world's imagination from Madison Square Garden without the Warriors letting him. Number 7. Gregg Popovich takes Tim Duncan out with 19.4 seconds left. Tim Duncan is one of the 10 best players in the NBA history, and for the first 5 games in 47-40 of Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals, he was plus 29 against the Miami Heat. At that point in the series, San Antonio was -12 with Duncan off the floor. After Kawhi Leonard missed a free throw with 19.4 seconds left on the clock and the Spurs up 94-92, head coach Gregg Popovich took Duncan out of the game for Boris Diaw. Leonard hit the second free throw to put San Antonio up 3, but Duncan remained on the bench. The ensuing possession is among the most famous in league history. LeBron James missed a free, and the Duncanless Spurs surrendered an offensive rebound to Chris Bosh. He, of course, kicked it out of the corner, where Ray Allen hit a contested three that sent the game to overtime. Miami went on to win that one before securing the series in Game 7. It's every bit as reasonable to think a different outcome, particularly the one many expected in the moment, was possible had he been in the game. The league was getting ready to present the trophy to the Spurs. The game was supposed to be over, and had Duncan been in the game, it might have been. Number 6. The Tim Duncan Guarantee. That devastating loss pushed Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs to one of the league's all-time great revenge tours. They went 62-20, good for the best record in the league, after getting by a pesky 8th-seeded Dallas Mavericks squad in 7 games. They essentially cruised to the finals, beating the Portland Trail Blazers in 5 games and the Oklahoma City Thunder in 6. In 2013-14, the Spurs led the league in passes per game in the finals. They averaged 355.2 passes, compared to Miami's 255. All series, the ball flew around the floor with purpose, and it generally wound up in the right player's hands. The unselfish play had the Heat's defensive rotations in shambles for what would have been a short series. Over 5 games, San Antonio outscored Miami by 70 points, which amounted to the largest point differential in a single finals. The Heat was loaded with talent that year. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh captured the attention of the NBA world for the 4 years they were together. But the Spurs made Miami's heatless run far shorter than the original anticipated, with a performance that looked like the personification of will to win. Keep yourself tuned in as we discover 5 more amazing, crucial moments with you all. And hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you've not yet subscribed to that channel, do it now in order to make sure that you don't miss out on any future NBA content from now on. Number 5. 2015 Warriors Doubters. After the Golden State Warriors won the title in 2015, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and the rest of the jump shooting team should have disproved the jump shooting teams can't win in the playoffs theory. Behind that unprecedented combination of volume and efficiency, Curry secured the only unanimous MVP in league history, and his Warriors set the record for wins in a season with 73. Thompson averaged 22.1 points and shot 42.5% from free. Draymond Green went for a ridiculously well-rounded 14 points, 9.5 rebounds and 7.4 assists, 1.5 steals and 1.4 blocks per game. As a whole, Golden State's offensive rating was 8.1 points better than the league average, giving it the 3rd best relative offensive rating in league history. This was undoubtedly one of the best regular season teams in NBA history, and it may not have needed this bulletin board material from before the season, but it certainly didn't hurt. Number 4. Kobe Bryant's April 2016. Over the years, there's been plenty of talk about Kobe's 2015-16 teammates doing everything they could to get him the ball. He took 50 shots while the rest of the team got 35, but what may have really fueled the outburst beyond Kobe's intangible drive for excellence was a little load management. From the start of that season through April 3rd, Kobe averaged 28.4 minutes per game. Then over the 5 outings immediately preceding the 60-pointer, he averaged 23.7 minutes. He played just 19 minutes and in his second to last game. It doesn't sound like a ton of relief, but for a player with the mileage and injury history of Kobe, that extra rest may have just been what he needed to log 42 minutes and hoist 50 shots against the Utah Jazz on April 13, 2016. That may be the one that symbolizes Kobe best. Number 3. Draymond's flagrant foul points in 2016. Like the 2014-15 Warriors, the 2015-16 Cleveland Cavaliers deserve the bulk of the credit for their championship, but it's difficult to have a conversation about either without at least acknowledging the theoretical asterisks. Draymond's suspension following Game 4 of the 2016 Finals is a big one. The Warriors, of course, were up 3-1 at that point, but with Green out for Game 5, Cleveland managed to flip the momentum and eventually win the series. There's no way to know how it would have ended without the suspension. The Rockets had the ball and were up by 1. There was no good that could have come from the tie-up. All it did was start Green's count of flagrant foul points. Had he not committed that flagrant, there's a chance he would have been available for Game 5, and that could have made a huge difference. Over the course of the series, Golden State was plus 23 with Green on the floor and minus 27 with him off. Number 2. 2016 Warriors held scoreless for 4 minutes 39. With 4 minutes 39 left in the fourth quarter, Thompson scored a layup assisted by Draymond. The bucket pulled the teams into an 89-89 tie. Remarkably, the Warriors, the same team with the historically great offense detailed earlier, didn't score another point for the rest of the game. Holding that team to 0 points over nearly 5 minutes of a Game 7 has to be one of the greatest defensive stretches in league history. By cutting off driving lanes, rooting aggressively, and maintaining smart perimeter defense on shooting threats, the Cavs kept Golden State from getting their easiest looks, which altered the series almost as much as LeBron's offensive surge. The Cavs were locked in for that entire stretch, and while having one of the best basketball players of all time is the biggest reason they won it all, the desire that manifested in the form of defense is up there too. Number 1. James Dolannixes, the Kyle Lowry trade. In December 2013, the New York Knicks and Toronto Raptors were close to striking a deal that might have drastically altered the fortunes of both organizations. From January 2014 to now, the Knicks have gone 175-353. Over the same stretch, the Raptors have gone 352 and won the 2018-19 championship. From 2014 to 15 to now, Lowry is 13th in the entire league in wins over replacement player. He's now Toronto's all-time leader in that metric. The Knicks may owe the Golden State Warriors a thank you for Linsanity, but they might deserve one too. Ujiri looked poised to rebuild the Raptors shortly after his arrival, and Dolan nixing the Lowry trade helped turn Toronto in one of the most successful and stable teams in the NBA. So what do you guys think? Which one of these moments was most crucial? Let us know your answers in the comment section down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and thumbs up if you've liked it, and do hit that subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.